Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Commander Clash podcast. We have a little bit of a roster change today. Seth couldn't make it for this recording, so I have hopped into the hosting position once again. But joining with me, as always, are other two familiar faces. First up, we got Krim, aka the Asian Avenger. How's it going, Krim?
Yo, hello, Tomer. I'm excited to talk about dragons and not make a joke the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good reminder, actually. It's been a long time since I hosted, so I forgot to actually introduce the topic. We're going to be ranking the most popular dragons according to EDH Rec, the top 20 most popular dragons, and we're going to see how we like them. I mean, people still like Dragonstorm, right? It's still topical. Final Fantasy isn't out yet. We still have a little bit of precious time to talk about the latest set, so I'm excited.
You love Dragon.
I love dragons. Phil, aka Brewer's Kitchen, do you love
Phil, why
dragons?
are you laughing, dude?
I love Dragon.
Hell yeah.
I love Dragon as well.
I think that the description should be like dragons, hell yeah, or like that should be in the thumbnail. Boom.
Yeah, Tomer. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So, speaking of dragons,
I see Phil and I are on the same wavelength.
There's dragon planeswalker called Sarkon. We can talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. That is very true.
Sarkon did nothing wrong. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was like, let's take Tarkur and put in dragons, and he did it. And I think, good job him.
Yep.
Good job him.
Yep.
Good job,
the comments. Yep.
What happened?
Let's get on with it.
Nothing. Just keep going. Just keep going, Tomer.
What happened? All right.
Okay.
All right, speaking of dragons, you know what dragons have? They have really good armor from their dragons. And that's very similar to our sponsor today, which is foil armor. Foil armor. Do you have problems with your foils curling? Well, foil armor is the ultimate solution for flattening your foils. It's a two-way humidity pack that you can simply put inside an airtight container with your cards, and foil armor will absorb and release moisture, making your cards completely flat. Put a pack into your storage box and to keep your cards flat forever, head on over to foilarmor.com and use the code MTGGoldfish to get 15% off. And today's show is also brought to you by Card Conduit, the easiest way to sell your Magic cards. Are you tired of the hassles involved with buy listing your cards? Well, Card Conduit lets you skip all the typing time and work. With their curated service, you can send in as many cards as you want with buy list value of $1 or more, and you'll pay just a 5% service fee. And if you want to put in a bit of effort, you can send in their sorted service where you list and sort your cards in advance and pay a fee of only 2%. No matter which option you choose, you'll get a detailed report with the result and fast payment once your order is processed. Oh yeah, and you can get another 10% off by heading over to carkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Boom. How does he do it every single week?
That's a masterful ad read, Tomer.
Thank
I don't know.
you.
I mean, I thought you did great. So
I feel like a natural. I still am.
You are.
So confused what
You
happened. But okay. Okay. Also, Ultimate Guard, we have the comments of the week. And this time, or last week, we're talking about the best cards that care about your commander. And we got from @KeyRussell16. We're missing Richard coming in after everyone's done praising the card to say, I think this card sucks. I miss Richard too, by the way.
Yep,
I miss him too. I love that he has such an everlasting effect on the podcast that even though he's been gone for like over a month now, 2 months even.
I mean, Richard did just get done saying Corey Steelcutter sucks as well.
Whoa!
Wait. Initially in preview season.
Okay. Well, maybe it still sucks. We have to get an update.
I'm just saying, hey.
We have to get an update. Okay. Well, so with all the intro stuff out of the way, we're going to start ranking some dragons, which are the best thing in Magic the Gathering. So we got 20 dragons that are the top dragons, and then we each have an honorable mention. So there's going to be 23 dragons total to talk about. But we're gonna start with the most popular ones and work our way down. And Krim, what's the first dragon we're gonna be ranking today?
One that I think might be better than what rank I gave it, but it's Goldspan Dragon. 3 red, flying haste. When it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. But most importantly, treasures you control have tap, sack, add 2 mana of any one color. I think we all gave this a pretty solid rank. Tomer, you gave it a B. Phil gave it an A. I gave it an A. But I'm kind of feeling like I want to bump this up to an S.
Whoa!
This is so. I don't know about y'all, but I think this dragon is just generically good. You know what I mean? Like, no, it doesn't have to just be a dragon deck. Everything makes treasures, right? So if all your treasures make 2 mana, isn't Goldspan Dragon just like a generically good card across the board?
It probably is. I mean, it's the most played dragon in Commander, full stop. So I kind of feel like the wisdom of the masses should warrant an S. I gave it an A, which is still pretty high. It is.
I'm
I
bumping
don't know.
up an S.
Okay. an
Yeah,
S.
it makes it triggers
Would you
Celtics.
actually Caretaker? Yes, of course. So it goes into 99% of fill decks, obviously, if you're in red. It does require attacking though, so that's like anti. That's
Yeah,
one-
it kind
one-
of bumps
that's
it.
minus one
I'm
fill point.
keeping it at A, but
The attacking only matters if you're trying to make a treasure. But like passively, you can just sack any treasures you've made prior, right? And or on the at that moment. And on top of that, come on, it's actually kind of still good flying. There's always that one player that doesn't have a flyer.
yeah.
Would you put it in a deck that doesn't make any other treasures though? Because that's where I'm kind
Yeah,
of like
right.
iffy about.
It's
Like,
its own engine.
but it only makes like 1 treasure per turn.
So
But then it already refunds like 2/5 of its price.
But it's 5 mana.
So that's but then it's just 3 effectively, and the next I don't know. It is pretty good.
I think it's Tomer B.
I'm not convinced.
Specific
Jeez.
deck.
I'm not.
This
Convinced.
is
If I'm in a treasure deck, this is going in immediately, obviously. But like outside of a treasure deck, I don't think I would ever really consider it. Or a dragon deck, obviously. But
Mhm.
whatever.
It's still
we're
an
gonna put it
average
as an A. We're gonna keep it along. We'll come back to it later. How we feel about it later, okay? Phil, what's the next dragon for us?
Ooh, next one I like, and I die to it a lot of times. It is Terror of the Peaks.
We all have.
5 mana.
Oh,
Yeah, 5/4 flying. Spells your opponent cast. Oh, that's the big one. Spells your opponent cast that target Terror of the Peak costs an additional 3 life to cast. And there's also whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. That is so oppressive. At least it kills opponents as well, but even you can even get cheeky with it, give it death touch, and then every creature entering kills something. But usually every creature
you
entering
don't even-
kills something anyways. And then
This is
kills
S's across
players.
the board, right? Like this is.
So-
I don't think anyone's gonna say this card sucks.
Yeah, that's-
like if you see if you see this dragon, this is like the last card you see before everybody just gets domed for lethal, right? Like you just play this,
Yeah.
and then you just play like whatever other creature.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is just pretty
It's
quickly an
crazy.
S. Also, kind of nuts to point out, it's like currently almost like $50, and it
Yeah, I
used to
just
be
saw
like
this.
70 or something prior to reprint,
Yeah.
and it's still coming with a pricey tag.
Yeah.
This one is definitely like an easy S, unquestioned, right? Like it's just
Yeah, undisputed.
one of the best finishers, and also just a removal spell, and also just 5 mana. Like okay, all right, Krim, can you introduce my favorite dragon of all time?
Oh god, I hate this one. It's Niv-Mizzet Parun. Triple blue, triple red. Spell can't be countered. Not even really why I hate it. Whenever you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet Parun deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. Wow.
Any player. It's so crazy.
Speaking of things that you see right before you die, usually this is one of them, right? Like, I have never seen anyone successfully politic in a way that does let the person keep Niv-Mizzet Parun. I think that unless the table just straight up didn't have it. If they didn't have it, then they've lost. Because this card is, just you put a curiosity on it. You know how it goes. We all die that way. But just generically, even without that combo, for me to deal with this, something gets pinged and you draw a card. This card is silly. This card is absolutely silly.
Oh,
we all gave it an S.
Mhm.
Is this another undisputed S?
But it's hard to cast.
It is hard to cast. I remember I had a budget brew of Niv-Mizzet a long time ago, and I immediately played it. And obviously, I put in like curiosity and stuff. When you put any of those like curiosity type cards, they draw you a card for each time the enchanted creature deals damage. It's not combat damage, so you like ping somebody, you draw a card, which makes you ping somebody, and you do that for infinite times essentially. So you can deal damage equal to the number of cards in your library. And everybody dies. But even without that, like if you're just Spellslinger, or if your opponents are casting instant sorceries, you're just like drowning in card draw. Oh, that's so good. S?
Yeah, it's
Top
a
of
little,
S?
there's a how, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we put it at the very top before Terror the Beast?
I think Terror is better just because it has more applications and isn't triple blue, triple red. But just saying, Tomer, if you just played the snow duels that have land types, again, Baby Krim loves his color pips and his spells. So
I mean, this is the best guild leader for the best guild, so yeah, it's easy.
I don't know about that, but sure.
It's an S, regardless. Okay, Phil, what do you got?
We got the most important, most expensive card on our list. $95 here.
What?
Ancient Copper, yeah, I know. Ancient Copper Dragon.
Wow.
6 mana, 6/5 flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20, create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. So, like 11 treasures when it hits.
So on average, yeah, a d20 roll is 11.5. That's what you're supposed to be getting on average. But you can get as little as 1 and as high as 20.
Mm-hmm.
I never tell me the odds. I think I hit with this and I got a 2.
Yeah, it got all these from us. It's especially because of the next one.
This is a weird one because it doesn't have haste like Goldspan Dragon.
Yeah.
And also, like, sure, 20 treasures is amazing, but, like, I don't like the variance of it. Like, if you could just say, like, every single time you deal damage, you get, like, I don't know, 6. Half the average. 5 even. Even if it was, like, you guaranteed 5, I would like it more, honestly. The variance kills it for me because I have gotten ones before.
It is
like,
fun.
Never again.
It is more fun, I think.
It is more fun.
Considering the next card, this one is a B. While the next one, we gave all S's, and it's pretty similar.
That's fair. So,
I mean, I think the biggest thing, though, and this is heavily hindered by its price tag for me.
Oh, I
think,
guess, yeah.
I know I shouldn't factor that in, but, like, let's just say if I somehow detach the $95 price tag, the card is fun. Oh my God, it's so hard to not acknowledge that it's $100.
A lot of money. It's kind of expensive. But hey, there's going to be a Final Fantasy version coming up. Maybe that'll be cheaper.
So it'll be $70 instead of $100.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe this card is a little bit cheaper. Well, it is a little bit cheaper. And arguably a little bit better because we ranked it a little bit higher. Krim. We got another spicy one.
Oh, God, it feels painful to talk about a green card in such a high way, but 5 green, old Gnawbone. Whenever a creature, not this creature, by the way, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. I think we could safely say why and see why all 3 of us gave this an S, right? Last Dragon got a B because it deals damage, and then it randomly gives you amount of treasures. Old Gnawbone, though, every creature that you have on your board, and when it connects, it makes you a treasure equal to the damage dealt. That's infinitely better, right?
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
The fact that it triggers off other creatures usually makes this... It's like an extra turn spell or something. You just untap. Basically, it's not even untap. So post-combat main is suddenly crazy.
You do whatever you want. Like, even if you hit with, like, a 6-power creature, which is typically, like, what dragons are, and if you run this, like, in a dragon deck, that's typically what you do. You, like, play Gnawbone, swing with, like, a 6-drop. Even if you just make 6.
Mono green.
Yeah,
Just
even if you're mono green, if you just hit with a big creature, and that's like the floor of it, really. You may have like 6 treasure, and you can immediately do whatever the heck you want afterwards. It also is huge.
Yeah.
I just don't like that it's mono green. I've always had like I dislike this card. I'm not saying it's not powerful. I gave it an S. Phil gave it an S. Grim gave it an A, which is still quite high. I just don't like that it's green. Why is like one of the best dragons on mono green?
No, I gave
I
it
gave
an
it
S.
an S as well.
Oh,
I gave it
it's
an
got-
A in the
oh,
beginning, but
Phil
then
gave
I
it an A.
updated
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I just don't like this green. It rubs me the wrong way. Dragons are red.
Like, is it just a color mismatch thing? Because
Yes. It's just so
Why?
weird. It's just so weird.
It is a little weird, but there was a cycle, right? There were like 5 dragons.
sure,
Is that even
Ebb and
right?
Death is or whatever, very
Yeah.
much so of the same caliber.
Yeah.
Double S.
I
agree.
will-
Yeah, we'll shove it to the bottom of S. How about that? But like,
I think isn't this above Niv-Mizzet?
You may.
Niv-Mizzet
No.
Niv- one in
Niv-Mizzet
my
will win the
heart.
game. Niv-Mizzet will win the game.
Yeah.
Right, but it is a triple red, triple blue spell. This is 5 and double green. It can be played in multiple, like anything with green. On top of that, it's not like green has an issue getting to 7 pretty quick. I don't know. I think this is better. I think this is better than Niv-Mizzet.
We can go over the exact ratings later.
I mean, Niv-Mizzet got a triple S, and old
It's
Gnawbone
nitpicky.
only got 2 S's. So,
No, I upgraded to S.
Oh, you
it's
upgraded?
3 S's, though.
It is 3 S.
But he's the coolest one. He's a dragon wizard. Okay, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. I'll put Gnawbone higher. Whatever. Let's move on. Phil, what we got?
Okay, this one is kind of unexpected to see so high, but I guess it makes sense because it's just not in Dragon decks. It is Steel Hellkite for 6 mana. It's a 5/5 flying with for 2 mana. This creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and for X mana, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X whose controller was dealt damage by this creature this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, there it is. Only once each turn. That is so we gave it a. Toma gave it a C. I gave it a B. Krim gave it a C. It's like kind of bullying your friends there. The fact that it only hits 1 makes this a crazy threat for usually that one person that's either relying on tokens or has a bunch of 2-drops or something, and then you get wrecked, and the rest of the table says, hey, fine, I'm not mad at the player who did this, so I'm not even helping anybody. It's kind of brutal in practice.
I think
guess
the
it's
reason
popular,
why
though.
it's so popular, by the way, is because it shows up in a lot of precons. It's seen a lot of reprints,
Yeah.
so that's going to affect it. But I think like Phil is very much correct. Like this card is very, very good against like token strategies. Like it could be treasures, it could be clues, it could be just 1/1s or whatever. Then its ability is really, really mana efficient. But if you want to start taking out threats with it that are like 2, 3, and above, it starts feeling a little bit awkward. Honestly, like it just starts being if you want to do like get rid of 4-drops or something, it becomes very mana inefficient. I think, even though it's versatile.
And it's a way to destroy them in monocolor, so it's not even beggars can't be choosers at some point. Not monocolor.
I think that's the
just
problem.
no color.
Or I mean, like that's not the problem. That's a good thing that
Mhm.
you can play it in a colorless deck, and whatever color that struggles dealing with certain type of permanents, this is there to answer that. The problem is it itself is a 6 mana dragon that is an artifact, so it can get blown up by a single like Loran, right? There's a lot of cheap artifact destruction. On top of that, it being an engineered explosives, and or like actually, does EE blow up everything equal to and less? No, I'm thinking of Pernicious Deed. EE blows up everything that is exactly that cost. And that's kind of a problem in Commander because a lot of the times, dude, mana values are all over the place in Commander. They're all over the place. So I like imagine that if you have to kill a 7 cost, I have to spend 7 mana. And it only kills the 7 cost. So for me, this is kind of just something that used to be an ace in like Commander. This card was a very good like card, like way to answer things in Commander. But in the current year, this seems very outdated, and its numbers are propelled up just by it being in every precon.
I
don't play it in any deck, even though I play multiple artifact decks, even an artifact creature deck, because I kind of feel like I make myself. It's so mean. Like when it does something, it's like
mean.
I feel like it's bad.
I feel it's bad.
Yeah, unless it's very good. Like if you play it against Lonis or something.
If you're against a token deck, it feels very strong. I also appreciate that it is like one of the cheapest dragons you're ever going to see, because dragons inherently have like a dragon tax because they're so popular that you're going to pay extra. And this one's like less than $1, and that's actually commendable already. It's like way cheaper than the rest of these dragons, but like, yeah, I just don't run it anymore. But yeah, there's a card that I do run a lot more though. Krim, what's the next one on our list?
4 red, Hellkite Tyrant, Flying Trample. And when it deals combat damage to a player, gain control of all artifacts that player controls. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more artifacts, you win the game. So usually, if this connects against Tomer, you steal his board.
Wait. Don't take my Cauldra.
I mean, we all gave this a reasonable grade, right? Tomer gave it an A, Phil and I gave it a B.
I think this card is really good. Like, I view this as as artifact removal, but it's like way better than that, because then you gain the artifacts. So if somebody has like a couple of mana rocks, like, okay, yeah, I'm blowing up your mana rocks, I'm taking away some of your momentum, but then I get the momentum. And then like, sure, you could win the game off this, but like, that's like very specific decks. You have to be like an artifact or like a super treasure deck or something like that. But I just like this as like, if you can give this thing haste consistently, you just fire it off, and then you hit somebody for a lot of damage in the air, and then you just take all their artifacts. That seems great. No?
That's sometimes though I feel like
when
this
it works,
is just a bit
it's
overcosted.
devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you swing at an artifact player with this,
sure,
absolutely done. I don't know. It seems a little unfun.
Mean.
The second ability is also a little 20 more artifacts, you win the game.
Fun part.
I guess I've never seen it win.
Yeah,
I've won with
it's
it.
a little bit.
It's
if you play it in an artifact deck or do the dirty things.
I guys are kind of low on this. I'm surprised. I just see it as like a good removal spell, but
it's nice. It's nice. It's just like sometimes you're paying 6 mana for something that's got to stick, and the player you want to hit will have to spend all their mana to kill it, and they will if they don't have, unless they don't have it. And
not all
I don't
of
know,
us are control players, Krim. Okay, not all of us.
But I mean, like, I
believe in
removal. Draw a board wipe, right? This will draw a board wipe if they have it. And I don't know. I mean, it's not even the dies to removal argument. It's more of just like I pay 6 mana, and every time I play this, it in theory does a lot. But then every time I play it, I like steal 1 signet.
Really?
and then,
yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I guess different.
Even that's not
there.
bad, honestly.
At 6 mana.
Yeah. It's just because it's kind of the floor. The ceiling
it's fun,
is just
though. It's a fun card.
Yeah.
For you.
Yes, correct.
For me too. Whoa!
But ancient Copper Dragon is higher than this.
What is it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. I think it is, but maybe that's just me.
Oh, I gave it an A though, so I've determined that it goes above it. I also think like all these like combat triggers, like if they don't have haste by themselves, like sure, there are plenty of ways, especially in red, to give your stuff haste, but there is a little bit of an inconsistency there where you have a combat trigger and then sometimes you don't have the haste enabler, and that does make these cards a little bit more awkward. When you're spending 6 mana on them, you really want to make sure that they get their value immediately. So, I don't know. Something to keep in mind. But another one that also has an attack trigger that is also very exciting, that is low ranked.
An attack trigger.
It is a attack trigger, right?
The other one is a combat trigger.
Oh, yeah,
like
whatever.
damage.
Same thing. I can't read. Phil, what's the next one?
It is, first of all, surprising that it's that high, but it is, where is it? Drakuseth, Maw of Flames. 7 mana, 7/7, flying, absolute limited bomb here. When it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 targets. Is that just, I gave it a C. Krim gave it a C, Toma gave it a B. It's just a classic big dumb red dragon that shoots some fire, I guess, flavorfully. If you give this lifelink, you gain 10 life. If you give this death touch, you kill 3 things. It's okay. It's a big dumb dragon. Maybe that's why
Whoa.
it's up to you.
Well,
it's the best
Drakuseth,
kind of
probably better known as the Maw of Flames,
Yeah.
is amazing.
That's
Okay,
right.
I love this card,
But you
I
give it a
love-
I love it
C.
in limited.
but it's just not that good. Like, okay, it's good for my soul. I love the art. I love that it's very Timmy,
Yeah.
and it makes me smile like no other.
Oh yeah.
But it as a card is not actually that crazy.
Okay, well, I agree that it's not as crazy as most of the other dragons here, but I think it's better than Steel Hellkite because it doesn't require mana of you. So you could, like, if you
Sure.
do play this and then have haste, you
I agree.
can pick off like 3 small things, and I think that's good. Or you just deal
Yeah,
like more
I
damage to
agree.
people's faces.
And it doesn't get abraded.
It doesn't get abraded, yeah, that's true. Can we put it before the Steel Hellkite then?
Sure.
Yes, it would
Sure.
go above Steel Hellkite.
Okay. All right,
Easily.
then we'll move on to another unanimous one then. Phil, what's the next one for us?
I introduced the last one, but I guess.
Wait, Krim, sorry.
I mean, just
Yeah.
No, we
Over.
mustn't hear. We mustn't hear. Krim is odds.
I mean, it's Lathliss, Dragon
Yeah.
Queen, 4
Yeah,
red,
yeah.
red. There's even an anime art of this card. This is a B across
Oh.
the board from everybody. And I mean, we all know why it's a B. It's great if you're playing a dragon deck. This is one of the auto includes when you are like, I'm going to play a dragon deck. You're throwing this in there.
Mm.
I mean, why not spawn a ton of dragons whenever a non-token dragon you control enters? And it also pumps all dragons, gives every dragon fire breathing. So I don't think much needs to be said, right? I mean, like, we all love this if you love dragons.
Yeah, I think it's the coolest
Honestly.
mono red dragons commander. Just super flavorful, and you really make an army of dragons. And there's like, there's triggers for this. It is very good, but in dragons, that's why I guess we all gave it a B.
Yeah. It's very like our ranking, by the way, because I forgot to mention at the beginning. Usually, S is like you're gonna put it in like most decks or most decks as appropriate. A is like it's very very good in like more specific homes, and then B is like very very good in like very narrow homes, like one deck archetype, and then C is like probably like meh sometimes, and then D is like no. So it's very 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 good in just dragon. So it's like a solid B. All right, cool. Phil, we got a non-red dragon, which I'm very excited about.
There's also a non-dragon deck dragon, I think. At least its
Yeah.
applications are usually something different. It's Junji the Midnight Sky, 5 mana, 5/5 flying menace. When it dies, choose one. Each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. It's a 6/1, I guess. And put target non-deck dragon creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. You lose 2 life. Well, I misread this somehow, like wording-wise, but it reanimates a non-dragon when it dies.
Non-dragon.
Or
So you can't
you
loop it with
make
itself.
everybody discard 2 cards, which in Commander kind of scales up. I think you want to play it to reanimate stuff. But, man, the discard 2 is like sneaky devastating if you do it early. So,
Especially if you have a loop.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So Toma gave it a B. I gave it a B. Krim gave it a C.
Wow.
I just like how much value it can create and in how many different decks it fits. It's like, too bad it's not a leaves the battlefield trigger, but that would be
Krim is not
probably
a believer
pretty
in
broken.
this. What?
I like it. I like it as well. In the same ways that I love Drakuseth, probably better known as the Maw of Flames.
no.
I think it's cool. It makes me happy. I like the art on it. It does fun things. But I don't think it's that good, to be honest with you. It's like fine. Like if you loop anything with the dice trigger, like Kakusho, right? Like that is probably better because you get the life gain. You actually close the game out. More often than not, what if I play this and there's just like some poo stew card? Like I reanimate a Steve, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Sure.
Get Steve. I can't even get a dragon. I get like, so if I'm trying to have
No,
my
you can't get a
dragon
dragon.
experience, I don't even get to further that game plan. And I mean, again, a mind rot on the board is like, okay, or on the table is like okay.
I feel like you'd like that mode. I would never even consider that mode most of the time, but like, I don't know, you like making people discard.
Maybe it depends on what
It
kind of deck.
feels-
Like like my Tiny Bones deck loves this card, but
Yeah.
like otherwise,
So the thing I really like about this one is it's really good in sacrifice strategies where you want a big body. So like there's Gitrog, the Ravenous Ride, where
Oh,
you
yeah.
saddle it and then you're gonna draw 5. You're gonna sacrifice it. You're going to draw 5, play up to 5 lands, and then when it dies, you get to reanimate something else. Or like you sacrifice it to a Disciple of Freyalise, for example, and you'll draw 5, gain 5, and then you'll reanimate something. So that's kind of how I see it. Like that's why I like it as like a B, because I think it has a home in sacrifice decks that care about having like a big beefy body as well.
let me ask you this: do sacrifice decks care about a big beefy body though?
I just named
that
2.
version.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you need them
Gitrog
there?
is
I don't
pretty
think you
specific,
need them.
but
Like
it
Gitrog,
slaps.
okay, sure, Gitrog, I'll give you that one. But that's like
Gerard
one deck.
Golgari Lich Lord. Okay.
Classic.
Better big bodies though. There's
Those are
so
big
much better big-
bodies.
I mean, like
All
that's
right,
that's
whatever.
fine. Sure, I'll give you those two. But like again, is this not just the perfect definition of like a C? It is so.
Two
okay.
Bs disagree. We're gonna put it at the bottom of
Yeah,
the...
yeah.
He was
Do
kind
you?
of about
Do
to
you?
convince me though, but let's keep going.
Whatever. No, it sticks there. We gotta keep going. We have blah 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 blah. We have Krim introduce us to a Gruul Dragon.
Okay, so this one is Atarka World Render. 5 red green, flying trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, it gains double strike until end of turn. Yeah, this is a fun, like, big high, like, big dragon to drop and reanimate in your dragon deck and whatnot, like Jund Dragons, but this card is like kind of like absurdly average now. I think all of us gave okay, so
I
sorry.
give it a B.
Homer, sorry, I don't speak for Tomer.
I like
Tomer gave
double
it a
strike.
B.
I like
Okay.
double strike.
Phil and I gave it a C. Look, you like double strike. That's dope, man. But like, come on, there's gotta be. What's the other thing? I would rather deal double damage. I'd play a damage tripler, doubler,
True.
any of those over this double strike.
Okay,
So-
that's fair. I think like when this was printed in the before times,
Original
having
Khans of Tarkir.
yes, which was the before times, I guess.
Yes.
It was over
Technically,
like a
time
decade,
travel.
decade
Fatal
ago.
Forge.
Yeah, it is time travel. Unfortunately, Sarkhan made it much better afterwards. But anyway,
Sarkhan what?
I digress. I digress.
The planeswalker.
Sarkhan, yes,
Yeah.
he was the best. He was my spirit animal. So Atarka,
Yeah.
though, Atarka was a good finisher for like a dragon deck, but now we have like Terror of the Peaks. Now we have like Twin Flame Tyrant. We have like a bajillion different ways of being like, okay, I have dragons, now you die. So maybe like the 7-drop is a little bit more clunky and less necessary. So I could see it. I'll bump it down to a C. How about that? Okay. Where do we put it on the C range of the dragons?
I mean, across the board, we would all give it a
right, I
C, so
think.
that'd be at the bottom.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so specific, and then it.
How the mighty have fallen.
It used to be a great card.
It was. And now it's one of the cards you cut from your precon. All right, but next we got my phone turned off. Okay.
We got
Next we
Utvara
got
Hellkite. It's 8 mana, pretty pricey. I think is it the most expensive dragon we had so far, mana value wise? It's also
No.
50
Oh
bucks.
yeah.
It is 6/6 flying. Oh no, we got 6/6
It is.
flying. Whenever a dragon you
Technically,
control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature with flying. So it triggers off every attacking dragon. That's why
Hell
it's
yeah.
8 mana. It immediately kills you. That's one of those things where this is on the board, and then they play a Terror of the Peaks, and they attack, and then it's over.
That's-
So one of these crazy dragon engines. It is pricey, but my god, does it have impact in a dragon deck. So that's why Toma gave it an A. I gave it a B, Krim gave it a C. but it is quite the bomb.
Wait, no,
in
I gave it a
Dragons.
B. I gave it
Oh,
a B.
yeah, it's a B. Yeah. So A, B, B.
Ah,
It is a little win more, but it does really win more. It
No.
triggers off itself. Yeah, it is. It is very good. Yeah.
This is a
B.
very much so a win more, Tomer.
Just
Come
Dragon.
No.
It is.
Come on,
win more.
Tomer.
Come
No.
on.
I mean, look. I love this card. Speaks to my Timmy, right? Like
Yo.
I am very, very much so in love with this. I'm spawning dragons left and right, but dude, it's kind of expensive.
Okay.
And
It's a B because our definition, it's a B. I like it very much because it's a dragon and then you attack with dragons and you make more dragons. Like, hell yeah. I just want to
Sure.
write down, like, hell yeah, dragons on it as a flavor text.
would
And
you
there's
put this in your
6/6s.
changelings deck?
No, because it's 8 mana. But I don't actually view this as win more because let's say you have like a single dragon on the battlefield. You play this, you attack with that dragon. Now you have 3 dragons because you made a 6/6 out of it. It's already good. You know, like Atarka and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, okay, well, I hit you for double, but if I'm not hitting you for like lethal, it doesn't really matter. But this one is like, I have a single dragon. I play this, and then now I have 3 dragons. Or you just play this, and then you give it haste, and then you have 2 dragons, and then you can block very well, and then the next turn you have 4 dragons.
You see, Tomer, I think win more has this negative association attached to that descriptor,
it's
right?
a board builder. It builds your
but
board.
Tomer,
Yeah, I get it.
Commander is the win more format. So like I love this. If I have a dragon deck, this is in there. But it is like, because all it does is, yes, it's a board rebuilder, and it's also just absurdly win more, and I love
No.
that. It's
Okay,
so
whatever.
Timmy.
We all agree it's a B. That's the most important thing. Can we put it at the front of B, though, is what I'm asking. I'm pleading.
It is the best in a dragon. I guess Lathliss is probably better in a dragon deck.
No.
Yeah,
'Cause you could
I
play-
think Lathliss is the dragon. It's
Yeah.
2 mana cheaper. Come on, Tomer, and it pumps.
Like if,
Yeah,
yeah, I
Lathliss
guess
is at the
if we
top.
do-
whatever.
yes, yeah,
Whatever.
sure.
I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
That's
Uh,
the dragon queen, dude. like come on.
Whatever.
With the next one.
Speaking about blue
There are some
dragons,
cards
Prim.
here. Oof.
Yeah.
What we got?
Okay, so the next one is Ancient Silver Dragon. Not quite $100.
No.
6 blue flying, and whenever Ancient Silver Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20, draw that many cards equal to the result, but most importantly, you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Okay. This card, I actually currently do play outside of a dragon deck.
Really? Put that.
I think this card is, again, win more, but hilariously fun. It is
Yeah.
such a... If I get to keep this and I attack with it at all and I just draw a card, I'm already happy. This is such a fun experience being able to just kind of know that there's a chance I could draw 7 cards and keep all the cards. This is
True.
just a fun card all around. I really like this. Obviously, it can be busted. You could draw your whole deck. You can repeat combat steps, do busted things. But I'm talking just as a 8 mana, 8/8. I am just playing this, and if I get to hit, it is a good time. I am happy. You gave it a B. Phil and I gave it an A.
It's well, so I just see it the same issue as the Ancient Copper Dragon, no? Isn't it? It's
No.
literally the same cycle. It requires haste, or else there's no way you're just playing this and then saying, please let me untap with this, I swear it'll be cool. And then sometimes okay, on average, you'll get 11.5 cards out of it. Sometimes you'll get 20, who cares? But sometimes you get 1 or 2, just like the Ancient Copper Dragon. And this is 8 mana compared to 6.
It's still 2 cards is better than 2 treasures, though, right? I think the floor of this, it is 8 mana. I guess you have to reanimate
Floor
it.
is
Yeah.
no max hand size.
I
no
don't
matter
care
what.
about
With no
that.
max hand size, and I think
That's
drawing 2
relevant.
cards is already feels pretty good. Drawing 11 on average is crazy. 11 treasure. We always say you're constrained on mana, not on cards. But this is one of the reasons why you're not constrained on cards. You still have to draw these cards. I guess this plus old Gnawbone. Whew. Civic.
That's the
wait
pair.
a second.
Civic
But,
Dragons, just
like-
cut the red, cut the weak link.
Focus on the good stuff. Yeah.
I would play this regardless of haste and whether or not it's in a dragon deck. I think this is a very solid A.
Without
this is super fun
haste.
to reanimate.
Yeah, without
No. That's as the kids say, whack. I do not condone
Come
that.
on, Phil, back me up here.
I mean,
You know
I
what?
gave it an A.
I mean, I'm
so
like,
fun.
I would put it in a reanimator deck if I had haste. And even like I have a dragon deck that I took from mono red to Izzet just because I found it more enjoyable. And that one has like a lot of haste enablers. And I don't have a copy of it. And it's like $40. And I'm like, do I want this? And the answer was like, no, I could already draw cards so well that like, yeah.
But you don't get an 8/8 dragon, and you don't roll a d20.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, but like, is it really good? Like, is it really an A?
It's both.
Yeah, maybe
it's good
it was fun
and
as
fun.
part of my grade there.
No,
Yeah,
I
whatever.
think it's both good and fun.
I don't even really care about the no maximum hand size because, like, I don't know. I don't care about discarding
Amateur
some
card
cards. Those are reanimation targets afterwards, actually. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I'd
I've
rather
overruled.
reanimate- I would rather reanimate this than like a chunk of other like things on the board or on the list right now. Not all of them, just
So we'll put it below the Goldspan Dragon. It's I guess probably going to be the highest of the cycle of the ancients.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Next one bullies
yeah.
players again.
Yes.
Balefire
I love this
Dragon.
one.
Bullies players. Is that what interaction is, Phil?
What do you think Dragons do,
Bullying?
Phil?
Yeah, it's interaction, but it's okay. So Balefire Dragon, 7 mana, 6/6 flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to each creature that player controls.
Yeah.
That is
That's
just
so sick.
one-sided, like one player board wipe usually.
And they deserved it.
Good with lifelink.
Yeah. And look at that
This is
artwork. Look at
perfect.
what do you
Art
think
is
Dragons
so
do? This
sick.
It is a cool card. Yeah.
it's fire breathing on your
What do we
opponent's
give
board. It's perfect.
All ace.
It's so
All A's.
Timmy.
It's so
Yeah, it is pretty Timmy. It is the most dragon way to wrath a board, I guess.
I mean, like it's a dragon, so like obviously dragon decks are gonna love this, but I would also run it in some other decks too. Like I had a Xenagos. I had a Xenagos list for a very, very long
my
time.
God.
And Xenagos gives a creature haste and also doubles its power and toughness. So like you play Balefire Dragon, you immediately give it haste with Xenagos. It smashes somebody for 12, and then deals 12 to all their creatures. So all their creatures are dead too. Like I think this card has legs in multiple homes.
Yeah. I think it
fun.
is playable across the board. Like there's a lot of decks in red that will love this.
And if this is considered bullying, which I don't agree. Well, some people
I don't
deserve
think
bullying.
this is bullying.
Yeah, if you're doing your Simic nonsense over there, then I want to
Ramping
be
excessively
like,
and drawing too many cards.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing my thing.
I want it, and also like playing like 50 cards that I do not want to read. And I do not want to keep track of. Boom, gone. Get out of here. It's great.
That's bullying, Phil.
Bullying is making me read all the cards, all the creatures that you have on your board because you've had like a 15-minute turn doing Simic nonsense. Some people
I came to
deserve.
play Magic, not literacy. I practice my literacy.
I think I'm here to
okay?
read. All right.
Yeah.
A's. Okay. Hi.
Despite
top
all
of
of
the
that,
day?
Phil gave it an A. Hey, whoa.
yeah.
I still think, okay, this is crazy that this is over Goldspan, but that's another topic.
Whatever.
Okay,
I'm the
okay.
arbiter of this. This is my show. I'm the host.
Sure. Yeah. Hey.
I've gotten mad with power.
All right.
Krim, what's the next hot red dragon we've got? Why did I say
It is
hot? That's not
Scourge of Valkas. Scourge of Valkas, 2 and red. Flying 4/4. When it or another dragon enters under your control, it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of dragons you control. You pay a red and pump it by +1 in power and +1/0. I mean, but yeah, this is like a balanced version of Terror of the Peaks.
So we got
Right, like-
B's from me and
I downgraded to B as well. We got all B's
all B's
because it's kind of
It only works in dragons.
It only works in dragons, and
I don't
then
even think it's that good in
Terror's
dragons. That's the
better.
problem. Is like
Because you
dragons
don't
aren't
flop the
really
board, yeah.
go wide. So like if you deal damage equal to the number of dragons you control, I think usually you're gonna have like 2-3 dragons on the board, because if you have like 6 or so where it starts being like Tear of the Peaks level damage, you probably already won the game. Like you've already had the huge amassing. So like I prefer it in like go wide token dragons, which
Go
doesn't
wide
really
dragons.
well, like I have a Ganax and Feywild Visitor, and Feywild Visitor is the background, and it makes a fairy 1/1 fairy dragon token for each person dealt combat damage. And so it's very
sure.
good there. But like if you're Miirym or something, I think like it's not even close to like a Scourge or whatever.
Actually,
but in
hold on.
Miirym,
In Miirym,
it's
it's
crazy.
Well, Miirym-
nuts.
Mirror's it makes everything nuts, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
correct.
it's not as nuts as like a terror, okay?
Sure. But you need redundancy, and this is like
Yeah.
terrors, like Temu Terror, right? So
It's fair. It's not terrible in dragon decks, but I feel like it's just not as strong as some of the strongest ones. All right. That's an
All
easy
right.
B. We'll
yeah,
throw it in the above Junji category.
I think it's above Junji
All right. Cool.
for sure.
Cool.
All right. So the next card is wait, hold on. I read
No,
that
that's
one.
Phil. That's
Oh, yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, it's Phil. It's
Oh,
Phil.
but
The
Tom,
order
I
must be
should
preserved.
read this, I guess. It's Ganax Astral Hunter, the commander he just talked about, flying 3/4 for 5. When this or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a treasure token and you can choose a background. We all gave it a B, but it is one of the more interesting commander decks I've seen so far. Like Toma brought it to Clash.
Oh, thanks.
And we saw it, and it is pretty clean value, just creating treasures, pretty much making everything cheaper unless you do shenanigans. Like the floor is making consecutive dragons cheaper.
Mm.
It is cool, but it's 5 mana. It's an uncommon, so it's not super overpowered. Yeah, we all gave it a B.
It also refunds you a treasure when it enters. It has like blink
Yeah.
value. And then obviously if you make like dragon tokens or something, like with Feywild Visitor, I think is actually quite strong. But like
Mhm.
typically every single turn you're going to play like a dragon if it's like 6 or more mana, and you get 1 treasure. So it's like not so insane in like a typical dragon deck, but yeah, it's solid.
It makes treasures. I like it.
Makes treasures.
It pays for half of its like commander tax.
Better or worse than Junji?
I think this is better than Junji.
I think
So-
it's I don't know, Junji. Nah, I don't care.
Oh, I
Better than
like
Junji.
I
Better
like
than Junji.
I like Junji. Okay, we
Better than Junji, dude.
we got
No way.
two worse, one better. How about that?
Okay.
You can't just keep bullying Junji. I mean, come on. All right. Next we got Krim. Back to you. What we got?
Yeah, it's an old classic, Scourge of the Throne, which is 4 red flying dethrone. Whenever this creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a 1/1 counter on it. When this creature attacks for the first time each turn, if it's attacking the player with the most life or tied for the most life, untap all attacking creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat step. This card used to be like crazy expensive, and then it kind of got reprinted now. But I believe I gave it a C. Phil and Tomer gave it a B each. Now,
Why don't you like this?
I don't like this as much anymore just because I've now played with this so much. And it's always, you have to get your dethrone value, and that's never the person that I really want to hit with it, right? It's nice that I get the extra combat step, but more often than not, I just don't like it because, like, hey, I need this flyer to attack the person with like the lower life. And
Oh, it's the highest?
because
yeah, that's fair.
yeah, you won't get your dethrone value, right? And sometimes the person with the highest life is not the problem, right? Like I know,
Sounds
believe it
good.
or not, the highest life is not the problem. So I'm forced into these awkward attacks, and so I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just play an extra combat spell instead.
No, yeah. I mean, okay, so yes, but I think it is relevant that like this is an extra combat attached to a
A
creature.
dragon.
So some
Sure.
decks, yeah, like obviously dragon decks like it, but like Xenagos again, I'm throwing it out there. Like things that were like I get extra synergy out of my out of my creatures, and I can give them haste very realistically. I think it gets a lot better than like a regular extra combat spell. And also I really like it because if we look at a lot of these dragons, they either have like combat triggers or attack triggers, and this is a way to like give you an extra round of those.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Dethrone is more awkward than it reads. That's
Yeah, because
why.
sometimes you're the highest
Yeah.
life total, and you're like, I can't take
That's
myself.
why it just sits there a lot of the times, right? And it's like, oh man.
All right.
I don't know. I don't like that. Dethrone makes it weird, and it heavily leans into that. So
The art's cool.
the art is very cool.
All right, so less than Ganax, but we put it at the bottom of B.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. That
Two
was good.
BCs. Okay, fine. All right, fine. Phil, we got another red dragon.
All right, now we got one of the cheaper ones on this list. Maybe the cheapest? Yes.
I think it is.
It is Atsushi the Blazing Sky. 4 mana, 4/4 flying tramper. When it dies, you either exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of turn. You may play those cards until your next turn. Or you create 3 treasure tokens. It's just like Junji, but just more generically bad, good, and efficient. I guess I played a lot in random decks, like
Krim is like so excited to say it
Balloon
makes
Man and
treasures.
it makes treasures. You kind of draw 2 cards, although you really have to play them to draw them. The 3 treasures are good for combos, and I don't know, it's just clean value. It's a 4/4 flyer, which is good to have. Otherwise, as Krim mentioned, somebody is not flying, and then all the flyers are gonna go into you. So there's a good roadblock as well. That being said, I gave it a B, Toma gave it a B, Krim gave it an A, so he's probably high on it.
This is a good card. It's
Okay.
so cheap. And
It
it
is
doesn't have to
efficient,
just
yeah.
be a dragon deck. It can be any deck with red, because again, it's 4 mana. What I think Richard and Seth see when they look at a solemn, that's what this actually is. Right? Like I know I don't get a land.
Solemn, I think.
But this attacks. This is a beater, a real beater. And on top of that, it's so awkward because people don't want this to die. How, like, we've had it on Clash before, and I forgot who had the Atsushi, and it just felt so awkward that it was out there. He's like, I do not want to
had that.
accelerate your board and your resources this early into the game. And it's just an all-around very, very efficient. It is beyond rate. It is above rate.
Would you run it outside of sacrifice decks though? Because like I put it in my mono red Ganax deck, and the reason for that is I just ran out of good dragons to put into my deck. But like, I don't think I would run it in a typical dragon deck, right? You need it to die. Otherwise,
Wait, you don't want to run it in a dragon deck where you do nothing for 30 turns? Because this is one of those things where you see it early, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
But then it's
So,
so
like,
4/4 that's
And
just,
also,
like, hanging
Link,
out.
it's amazing. Right? Like, it's good at all phases of the game, but it is absurdly good if you get it early.
Well, like I
And-
see it as like just a card you just sacrifice in a sacrifice deck. Now you're like, okay, I play it,
Oh,
I hit somebody,
no,
I
no,
sacrifice
no.
somebody, I make 3 treasures or whatever, I draw some cards. No?
This is more than just something I'm trying to sacrifice. Also, this gives you that big body, for the decks that want to have it in a sacrifice deck. But on top of that, it's just a good threat. I think this is a 4/4 for 4 that just will get there. And if you sacrifice it, there's a lot of upside for you as well. So I like it. I think this is good at all, like, for so many reasons. It's a beater, and it's card advantage. It's a resource advantage if you need it to be. It doesn't need to just be sacrificed. Atsushi deserves to live, Tomer. It deserves to live.
I think I just realized something. Is this not like one step removed from Osier Axonel defending?
Yeah, I
Is it-
noticed
yeah?
this as well. Yeah,
Has Krim gone to the Richard side of mono red?
Okay,
Ramp?
hold on.
That's
Richard's
just
very high in
scary,
O'Hare.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's not the same
I
thing where it's
don't
just
wanna
like
talk
it's like a
about
big
this.
beater and then eventually it dies and you're like, yes, I wanted to die, you fool.
Well, Richard has like Richard's kind of right in that O'Hare gives you a red mana, right? That red mana
Sure.
stays, and that's cool. But this gives you a big burst of mana.
True.
And that's much better, especially if you're playing a dragon deck or something that's loaded with clunky threats.
Okay, I mean, I'm liking it more. You've convinced me a bit more.
Sushi's a homie. I love it, Sushi.
Well, are you good on the Bs still?
I'm still a B.
Okay. Well, 2 Bs, As. It's top of the B. How about that? Okay. We got
Look at this.
Phil. Oh, Phil, this is a no, wait, this is a Crim.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Crim. It's Crim. This is not I was gonna say it's a Phil card. It is still a Phil
No,
card.
it was
It's Miirym, Sentinel
yes.
Wyrm. 3 green, blue, red, flying ward 2. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it. Except it isn't a legendary if that dragon is legendary. So this card is the dragon, right? Like this is everybody builds this. This is like the Eureka of dragons. Everybody builds this. And then they realize this is absurdly busted, and then they break it up. And they try to find some other form of dragons.
Then they build Ureni, and they're like, finally a fair Miirym. And then they're like, oh wait, Ureni's busted too.
Yeah, it's like they switched to the Utvara Dragon. The problem with
Let me
Miirym
ask you
is, so
this.
we all gave it an S, which is
Yeah.
weird for a card that it's kind of the commander of your dragon deck, or is only good in your dragon deck. But it's so crazy good. Like, oh my god.
It's the dragon. It is like
Yeah.
the dragon.
Wait,
Like,
wait.
I think this is better
is
than
it
Ur
more the dragon than the Dragon? It even has the
Yes.
in the title.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess Utvara Dragon is inherently a little mistakey, but this is also a mistake. Like,
Wait, how is
why
Dragon not
does it
even
have
on this list? We don't even have it ranked. What's going on?
Because Miirym
mean,
I think Miirym is the only one that made it here just on being a commander. And maybe he got included into all the new Timor Dragon
Probably
decks.
more
I don't
than
know.
99 if we're looking at like, yeah.
Also, you got to remember that Miirym is $10 and the Ur Dragon is $60.
Oh.
You know what's wild is Dragon's Miirym's only a rare, and like Baldur's Gate was opened up a decent amount. The thing that I dislike about this card a lot, other than like it's obnoxiously strong, but also I played a lot of Baldur's Gate Draft, and the fact that this was a rare and not a mythic,
it was so busted.
But it was so busted. Number one, it was like obviously the best commander by miles, but then it showed up so much because it was just a rare. So you would like half the time I would draft it, like half the time somebody would be like, "Oh, guess what? I opened a Miirym deck," and it's just like, ugh, whatever. How high do we put it? Do we put it at the top of S? Do we put it in the middle of the
at
pack?
the bottom of S, just because it's still so specific. But we gotta respect it enough to. I think
this is the dragon,
breaks through,
right?
The
like
dragon.
if we are doing a dragon ranking podcast or tier list, whatever, I personally would put it, if not in front, or it'd be in front or behind Terror, because this is the dragon.
I mean, Niv-Mizzet is the dragon of my heart, so I disagree. But
I don't
look. I love other dragons way more than Miirym. I don't even like Miirym, but I respect Miirym. Okay, so like I understand Miirym.
How about just behind the Terror of the Peaks? Okay,
sure. Because Terror technically goes in a lot of decks, not just dragons. But like, if there is a dragon deck, if there is a dragon commander, it's this.
Okay, fine, acceptable. All right. We have one last card, and then we get to honorable mentions.
Yes, it's the no bullying version of Hellkite Tyrant. It's Cavern-Hoard Dragon, recently spiked up to $20 here. It is 9 mana, but it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts an opponent controls. So I guess floor is still a 9, but it usually costs around 7. Or 2 if you run into the right opponent. And then it has Flying Trample Haste, so if you play against the right opponent and it's cheap. Yeah, maybe. When it deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. I mean, the ceiling is pretty crazy of this. Toma gave it an S. Damn. I gave it a B. Krim gave it a B. It doesn't. It needs your opponents to do stuff, which is like, unless it's like heuristic study or something. I usually don't like this too. I mean, I like to play with stuff like this, but I won't rank it too high.
This is
Uh,
this is what
eh.
this is what Goldspan Dragon wants to be. Like, what the odds of somebody having like no.
Okay,
Hear me out. Hear me out.
This
Krim,
might be a
Krim
good
kept
point,
going on and
actually.
like, oh, everybody plays treasures. Everybody plays treasures. Well, okay, if there's somebody holding like, I don't know, 4 treasures on the battlefield, it's already the same price as a Goldspan Dragon. It hits for more damage. It has trample, and it gives you more treasures. Like,
And haste.
yep.
Yeah,
well,
I bumped that
I mean,
to
both
an A,
things.
actually. I kind of like
But you got to
more than I
remember,
think
you're
about
thinking
it.
of the best case scenarios, right? Whereas Goldspan
Yeah.
is just also generically good and can also be like it's its own engine.
It's just
It's its own
nothing
engine.
by itself, yeah.
Like how many games have I played? Which is a lot, by the way, because I played the hell out of this card. More often than not, this is like a 7-mana 6/6 haste.
No, I played this card.
I mean,
a
if
lot,
it's
too.
7 mana, then then you can get 2 treasures usually.
Sure, you get 2 like great, right? Like you get 2 treasures for 7 mana. I'm like it's fine. Like I actually think it's probably somewhat better than the red other dragon, the copper dragon. But I do not think that this is better than Goldspan. Goldspan is always 5 mana. Goldspan will always make you a treasure. Goldspan is just generically, I think, like
a treasure.
no matter what, it's gonna be it's gonna do its thing, at least, whatever it's designed to do. This has a high ceiling, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you could have crazy turns. There's a Tomer at the table, you make 1,000,000 treasures, that's fine. But
I'm not always playing artifact, but I play this a whole bunch too, and I guess it depends on your meta and everything. But like I played it at FNM a bunch too, and it's just like somebody just having 4 artifacts on the battlefield isn't that
Yeah.
unheard of. And then
no.
it's just like 5 mana, and you just make 4 artifacts when it swings in. And
There's
does
a
more
lot more
damage.
moving variables, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more moving parts for this to be good, whereas Goldspan is always the same. And yeah, maybe that's its own downside because it's consistent. So this is the big fun play, right? Like, oh, who knows? Yeah, right? Like, big fun play, but the consistent play is Goldspan.
Sure, but it even has haste. Like, I think it's so much better. I think it's so much better than the Ancient Copper because, okay, Ancient Copper has its own
I agree.
variation and stuff, but it doesn't even have haste. You need to give it haste too on top of this, and this is okay.
I do think this is better than Ancient Copper Dragon. I agree there.
I could lower it to an A, but no joke, I think it's better than Goldspan Dragon. I take it 9 times out of 10.
Again, that's totally fine. I think this is better than Ancient Copper Dragon, so I agree with you there. This is not a bad card by any means. I just think that if you're asking me about consistency, I like Goldspan.
Put it in A. I think we all agree
Yeah,
that
it's an A.
kind
We
of
put it at
Sure.
bottom A. It's bottom A.
Sure, I put it before the blue one because that one is way more ceiling than floor. So I
do think it's better than the blue dragon.
Floor
I do
is
think it's better than
nothing
the blue
here.
dragon.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. It is on the A. It's not even at the bottom A. Okay, awesome.
Actually,
all right.
no, wait. I don't think that is better because I would
You've been
play the
overruled.
blue one in more decks. Okay, all right.
Too
all right,
late.
yeah.
It's still late. Okay, so that was the top 20, but now it's the bonus round. Ba-ba-bam. Each of us have brought an honorable mention. These dragons are not the top most popular dragons according to the Trek, but we really like them for various reasons. So, Krim, kick it off. What's your honorable mention dragon?
My honorable mention dragon is, at the time of filming, also 420 in cost. It's Brainstealer Dragon, 5 black. Flying 6/6 at the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of each opponent's library. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. Whenever a non-land permanent an opponent owns enters the battlefield under your control, they lose life equal to its mana value. This is a win condition. This is this leans exactly into the theft playstyle I like. It also rewards me for stealing all your cards by helping you lose the game faster. I'm sorry. I love this. I think this is just a very neat dragon. It's a cool design. It looks kind of just absurdly toxic and like oozy and I don't know. I love this. This is just a cool dragon.
It is super cool and super fun. Since these are honorable mention, I just agree that it's super fun. And the fact that the second ability is not just related to this in the right deck, pretty cool.
I could play this in numerous decks that have black.
I want to try it out in Kotis, which is a new commander from Dragonstorm that basically, when it deals damage, you villainous wealth equal to the amount of damage you dealt. So I feel like when you attach villainous wealth or Kotis to the dragon, that's usually game over. Because you're just going to cast all those spells for free.
Yeah, especially if you also have, what's that dragon that's like from March of the Machines? The Broodlord one, where it gives everything in exile that you have convoke.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Broodlord, that like you could play. There's some cool dragons to play with this. Oh,
it is a fun one. Okay.
Are we tier listing them? I don't know. I would give it a B, I guess. I don't know. We can throw them in there, but
well, sure, whatever. I'll put it as a B as well. Where do you put it?
Yeah.
My totally unbiased opinion, I'd put it. Problem is, it's still like what 7 mana, 7.
It's very narrow.
I like it enough to where I would play it not in a specific deck, so I'd probably play it in A. I'm not even joking. I rank it at an A. At the bottom of A, but an A.
So high B then, 2 Bs and an A?
Yeah.
Sure.
Boom. All right, bye Atsushi. All right, Phil, what do you got for us?
All right, unsurprisingly, I got a dragon with tokens, and they are copies. It is the 37th, I think, most played dragon in Commander, so it's also up there, considering how many cards there are, I guess. It is Astral Dragon, 8 mana, 4/4 flying. Project Image, which is just flavor text. When Astral Dragon enters the battlefield, create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanent anywhere on the battlefield, except they are 3/3 dragon creatures in addition to their types, and they have flying. This is, weirdly enough, my win condition in my Mishra deck, because I can copy either, the timing has to be right, but you can do Machine God's Effigy or Cursed Mirror. To get infinite of all permanents on the battlefield. But you can just cast this, and it's just generically crazy, because creating 2 copies of the best permanent on the battlefield, it's just... There's a lot of infinites with this, there's a lot of crazy stuff with this. Like, copy, like, Fiery Emancipation, and suddenly everything does 9 times the damage and stuff. It goes crazy pretty much right away. It's copies, and it's token. Triggers Caretaker's Talent. If you copy Caretaker's Talent with this, oh, brother.
You could deck yourself out.
You draw off themselves.
You could just win.
Yeah.
You could
drawing
card, you could just win. Winning's allowed.
I gotta draw my deck. See if there's a win condition in there.
Yeah, I think this card is incredibly flashy. It's 8 mana, which is a whole bunch, but like obviously it just wins the game immediately with Cursed Mirror and stuff. So
I'd put it in as an A. I guess it's an S in my books, but realistically, I think it's an A. Just absolute crazy bomb to reanimate or something.
Funny enough, it is kind of bad in a dragon's deck. It's good outside of dragons, right? Because it only clones non-creature.
Yeah, non-creature permanents, yeah.
You saw that they're in a Cursed Mirror and Prey, I guess.
Like, but I do like it. I think it is so fun. Like, sure, maybe you could copy a few of your your opponent's non-creature things and make them into dragons, which is funny. But like, I do think this card is pretty sweet.
I don't know if I misread this, but yeah, non-creature permanents. So I played in decks that have enough targets for it. Is even
it's
if
a
you
great blink target.
It's popular in blink.
I'd give it an A.
But it is. I'd put it at like the high end of B as well.
All right.
So like either
put it at bottom A then.
Bottom A. Let's do bottom.
It always
but not Brainstealer.
Brainstealer.
No, I think I'd rather.
I love Brainstealer. I love Brainstealer, but yeah.
But Brainstealer wins the game.
Okay, but let's talk about a dragon that truly wins the game. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased here because it's another Izzet dragon. I can just immediately put it on S. I don't need to read it. It's Firkraag. Firkraag, Cunning, Instigator. Let's just put it right over here for a second, just so I can read it, you guys. Firkraag, Cunning, Instigator. It's an Izzet 3 blue red 5 mana 3/3 legendary creature dragon. It has flying and haste, and whenever one or more dragons you control attack an opponent, go target creature that player controls, and whenever this is hard to read because it's on tiny text. Let me. Oh, this is so cool, the technology. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, if that creature had to attack this combat, you put a +1/+1 counter on Firkraag, and you draw a card. So this baby was the leader of a precon, number 1. And the whole idea with it is that you play like small dragons, you attack with dragons or whatever. But even more fun is if you like goad your opponent's creatures with like disrupt decorums and stuff. They're forced to attack, and then suddenly, whenever they're forced to attack, you're getting +1/+1 counters on Firkraag, and you're drawing a billion cards. But Firkraag itself, like it's 5 mana, immediately comes in, it goads something, and your other dragons are goading stuff. So like your opponents really can't attack you, and you're drawing cards, and you're growing Firkraag, and it's all for 5 mana, and it has haste, so it does this thing like immediately. Is this not an S?
I think this is an honest, at least an A. I don't think it goes lower than an A. I don't know about an S, but it is very
S seems a little high. Like
probably
Seth
only
plays
good
it as a commander, a friend of mine as well. So I've seen it as a commander a bunch, and it is pretty cool. Like goading out of the command zone is pretty good. Like so it's good as a commander and good in dragon decks. So I guess this can put it above B. We also gave Miirym an S. So I would say A is fine. It is very, very good.
I think Firkraag for me is right there with like Goldspan as well, just because it has a lot of utility. It is super cheap. It's 5 mana. Like I do like Goldspan and Firkraag over Balefire.
Okay, well, I would give it an S in my heart, but I know it's only like 2 or 3 archetypes it goes into, so I won't do that to y'all.
But it's so
you can
good.
put it behind Goldspan. I think Goldspan is it's only one color. Yeah,
and it's more generically good.
Yeah, the double treasure.
Fine.
It's good at prosper.
Fine, whatever. Okay, fine. There it is. All right, we did it. We got a full ranking. We did 23 dragons, which is an incredible speed, by the way, for us. I would say. What do you guys think of the ranking? Do you feel good about the overall positioning of all these dragons, like as a whole?
Yeah.
I mean,
looks good to me.
I think Goldspan is like should be like right behind there.
I think it should be right below the Cavern-Hoard, personally, but we can't all get what we want.
I do like it though, right? And it shows the respect for the dragons, like specifically Miirym. It's so good in dragons that it's better.
So good.
It's so far ahead of every other dragon commander. It's so good.
All right, well, that will be a wrap then. We got 23 dragons ranked, 20 of the top 20 most popular ones, 3 honorable mentions. Let us know what notable commanders notable dragons we did not put on the ranking scale. Which ones do you think are strong enough that they deserve being an S even? Is there anything like so good that we missed out that is an S? Let us know in the comments. Huh?
Corvold is probably an S.
Oh yeah, Corvold. Okay, that's probably
Miirym is an S.
Other than Corvold, or let us know about Corvold if you did hear that part. We'll find out. All right, Seth will be back next week, and he'll be doing the ad read smooth and buttery, and you don't have to worry about me doing it again. And that's it, everybody. So until next time, friends. See ya.